Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Hitting Bags and Stealing Balls. Today is Monday, April 21st, 2025. I hope you all had a wonderful Easter, and as you can tell, I am falling behind. I know I promised you guys a couple of videos this weekend. Clearly, they haven't been released yet. So, yesterday was Easter, okay? I think everybody can understand, hey, spending time with the family, wasn't worried in the slightest about uploading, okay? Sorry, that's just how it goes. Saturday, I watched the Lakers game with a group of friends. The Lakers did not look good, which surprised me, but this isn't a basketball podcast, so we'll move on from that. Plus, I worked that morning. And so, we're going to blow through this one again. This is the 14th through the 17th. We're going to blow through these series. I'm not going to give stats, standings, none of that. I'm just going to get this out. Okay, I've already got the script written for the 17th through the 21st, which was Easter weekend, because there was actually a lot of four-game series or whatever. And yes, I said script. I pre-write all of this, and that's why sometimes when I'm editing, I can't cut it all the way out, but you'll see me glance over to my computer. That's because my memory is garbage, and I cannot remember every single thing that I write down. And but I do try to get most of that out of there because it is kind of awkward. When I first started, luckily people gave me feedback because I would literally talk as I was looking to the computer, and that's just not how I wanted to do things. And people quickly were like, hey, let's, clean that up a little bit. So I'm thankful for that. Again, if you have any feedback on how to continue to improve, I always welcome it. I greatly appreciate it. And as you can see, there's not hats down here. We have Funko Pops, okay? I have a huge Funko Pop collection, including a huge baseball one. And so I'm gonna see after I record this, because I can't see my screen right now that I'm recording. I'm hoping that the light that I'm using isn't messing up, that you can see who these are, and that the glare is not horrible on these. Otherwise, you're never going to see them again. But if the glare isn't awful, I'll probably switch them out, every episode, and bring in the hats occasionally. I'm always changing things. I've got another jersey that I keep meaning to switch out behind me, but I keep forgetting to. It happens, But, again, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Still working on getting on Apple Podcasts. I'm sorry, guys. It's a hassle. And also, my X account is suspended or banned. I don't know how that works. It won't let me post on there. I'm trying to spread this podcast. I'm trying to get on there and just reaching out like, hey, if you love baseball, check out my podcast. And they thought it was spam. I guess they thought I was a bot or something. I don't know. I'm working on appealing that, and that's why it's such a big deal if you guys share this. Get me out there. It's not that I need 6 million followers to continue to do this. Like you guys know, I love talking baseball. Okay, I just do. And so I'm going to continue to do this, but why not reach more people? You know what I mean? Why not be able to talk with your friends about my newest episode? What kind of stupid stuff I say. I feel like, I don't know, that just makes baseball better in my opinion. So just, if you get the chance, share, send it to a friend. It only takes a couple seconds. Now that we've discussed that, I want to say sorry again for falling behind. I'm trying to catch up. I work full time. It was obviously Easter weekend. I'm working on it, okay? It shouldn't be that long. You should definitely see the new, the Easter Sunday series recap within a day or two, okay? And I know I said that this weekend, but this time it's actually true. When it comes to the other video, the Fact or Fiction video, by the end of the week, okay? I'm not going to make any promises on that because I still don't have the script written for that, but we'll get to that. Just continue, stay tuned. I'm keeping you updated on the series, so we'll get to everything else in time, but thank you again, and we'll go ahead. We'll jump right into it. Series April 14th through the 17th. And we will start with a rematch of the 2024 American League Division Series as the Kansas City Royals would travel to New York to take on the Yankees. And the first two games would go the home team's ways. The Yankees would win 4-1 on Monday and 4-2 on Tuesday behind another solid start from Max Fried and a shutdown bullpen. But Game 3 would be more of a nail-biter, as things would be tied 3-3 in the 7th before Aaron Judge would go deep and Cody Bellinger would make a sliding catch to save the game for the New York Yankees as they win 4-3. Now let's take a look at that catch.
Line to right field, on the run is Bellinger. He dives and makes the play, and the Yankees win 4-3 on a sparkler by Cody Bellinger, and the Yankees sweep the Royals.
You see, he kind of slipped and started to lose his balance.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't think it was necessarily, him fully laying out, or, it wasn't like a spectacular catch. I think it's more so just the time that it came in. Like, if he doesn't make that catch, they tie the game. Okay, so I think it's more so that, and it was still a good catch, but yeah, I mean, that's exactly why we traded for Bellinger, man. I mean, I'm not saying Aaron Judge couldn't have made that play, because obviously he's usually in right field. Or, well, I am kind of saying that Juan Soto last year probably wouldn't have made that play. So yeah, I mean, to have that outfield defense, I love it. It's definitely an exciting part of the season. Bellinger's had his struggles at the plate, but he's clearly been an upgrade defensively in the outfield. And with that catch, I mean, he solidifies the win and the sweep. The Yankees swept the Royals, so yeah, I think it was good and it was fun to see. So we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the second series. So the Cubs would continue their West Coast trip as they would travel from LA to San Diego to take on your Padres. And in Game 1, Fernando Tatis would continue his stellar start as he would hit 2 home runs and the Padres would crush the Cubs 10-4. But in Game 2, the Padres would meet a brick wall named Shota Imanaga. This man right here. He'd allow 0 earned runs across 5 innings, and then the bullpen would only allow 1 base runner the rest of the game as the Cubs would score the go-ahead run in the 10th and take Game 2 2-1. But in Game 3, Nick Pivetta would come out and outduel Matthew Boyd and give the Padres the series win, as they would be the first team on the season to reach 15 wins. Yeah, the Padres are doing good. Next up, Tarek Skubal would lead his Tigers into Milwaukee, and it would go exactly how you expected. 7 innings, 0 runs, as the Tigers cruised to a 9-1 victory in Game 1. But in Game 2, the Tigers would go from scoring 9 runs to only having 1 hit, as the Brewers would win easily 5-0. And in Game 3, Kyeter Montero, probably butchered that, sorry, would make his first start for the Tigers on the year, but it would not go well as he would allow 5 earned runs across 5 innings and the Brewers would get the series win. Next up, the Red Hot Mets would look to continue their great start against the ice-cold Twins. And Game 1 would put them on the right track as the Twins would only get 3 hits and the Mets would win 5-1. But then the Twins would decide enough with the losing, and they would take the final 2 games, 6-3 and then 4-3 on Wednesday with a 10th inning walk-off. After going 2-5 in their last 7, the Boston Red Sox would travel south to Steinbrenner Field to face the Tampa Bay Rays in hopes of turning things around. And in Game 1, they would fail miserably as the Rays would win 16-1. Tanner Houck gave up 11 runs in 2 1/3 innings. Every Ray that started the game would have at least 1 RBI, but in Games 2 and 3, Boston would quickly redeem themselves as the Red Sox would win Game 2 7-4 as Alex Bregman would go 5 for 5 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. And then the Red Sox would win an absolute nail-biter in Game 3 as they would win 1-0. Next up, the 4-11 Atlanta Braves would travel north of the border to face Vladdy Jr. and his $500 million. And in Game 1, Vladdy would be a no-show and the Braves would win 8-4 with a 2 home run and 5 RBI performance from Austin Riley. I love to see that. But in Game 2, Spencer Schwellenbach would finally look beatable as he would give up 6 runs in 4 2/3 innings, and the Blue Jays would take Game 2 6-3. And finally on Wednesday, the moment we all have been waiting for, even fans of other teams, as Spencer Strider would make his 2025 debut. And I think a lot of people forget that when he was healthy before his injury, this was easily the best pitcher in baseball. I mean, easily. I don't really think there can be an argument for anybody else. This guy was so fun to watch. He's on my thumbnail, okay? He's got a beautiful mustache. It's my favorite. I wish I could rock it like he does. But unfortunately, this game didn't go quite as well as he would have hoped. But, you know, it's the first game back. He's going to continue to get better. But he did give up 2 runs over 5 innings, so, I mean, not stellar, but honestly not really that bad. The only problem is Chris Bassett is off to a very stellar start to the season, and he would go 5 innings, not allowing a run, and striking out 10. Plus, Vladdy Jr. would finally hit his first home run of the season, almost a month into it. And the Blue Jays would win the final game 3-1. And take the series against the Atlanta Braves. Next up, the Rockies would travel to take on the LA Super Team, also known as the LA Dodgers. And my gosh, we don't have time for this. The Dodgers sweep the Rockies as expected. The final scores were 5-3, 6-2, and then 8-7. And somebody give the Rockies a hug. Now, after an off day on Monday, 2 teams that have been a constant disappointment for at least half a decade would face off, as the Mariners would travel to Cincinnati to take on the Reds. And in Game 1, former Reds ace Luis Castillo would fold under pressure against his former team, as he would give up 6 runs in 4 1/3 innings, and the Reds would win Game 1 8-4. But after that, it would be all Mariners, as Kyle Raleigh in Game 2 would come out and hit 2 home runs, leading the Mariners to a 5-3 win. And then in Game 3, the Reds bullpen would do what it does best, absolutely implode, as they would take a 7-5 lead in the 9th, blow it, and then continue to give up 4 more runs in the 10th. As the Mariners would win 11-7. Also, the video I want to show for this game isn't actually a highlight, it's an error, okay? Because Elly De La Cruz got pointed for 2 errors this game. He now leads Major League Baseball with 6. But I'm going to show a video because I don't like when they call plays like this errors, because it is such a weird hop. I don't care how good you are. I think this one was unfair to him. There was one that was fair. This one I think is unfair, though, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show this clip. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I just think some of these guys get tagged unfairly, so take a look. Yeah, so comment, let me know what you think. Again, I don't think it should be marked as an error, but I don't think De La Cruz really cares. Everybody knows his fielding ability is top tier at that shortstop position.
And Polanco has to get back, and it's underneath the glove of De La Cruz, and in between hop.
And then,
now we have
as we talked about, Rowdy Tellez providing cover just a little bit, just in front of De La Cruz.
Which is not surprising to anyone. That's who I bet to win the National League MVP. And in Game 1, he would hit a double, a grand slam, and have 5 RBIs as the Diamondbacks would start the series off with a 10-4 victory. But in Game 2, it would be a little bit of everybody, as they hit 4 home runs and win 6-2. And in Game 3, it's time to get out the brooms, as Josh Naylor would homer for his 3rd straight game, as he homered in every game of this series. Corbin Carroll would steal 3 bases, and the Diamondbacks win 6-4 to complete the sweep of the Miami Marlins. On Tuesday, the Guardians would travel to Baltimore for a 3-game series, and Charlie Morton would continue his atrocious start to the season, as he has now given up 18 runs in 18 1/3 innings pitched in his new city, and the Guardians would win Game 1 6-3. But Baltimore would bounce back with 2 very important wins, in my opinion, as these could be 2 teams facing off for a wild card spot at the end of the year. And the Baltimore Orioles would get it done with a 9-1 win on Wednesday and a 6-2 win on Thursday, as Jackson Holliday hits a grand slam in Game 2, and Gunnar Henderson hits his first home run of the season in Game 3, although he did start the season hurt. I think he missed the first week, so he'll catch up. Now we're down to the Final 4 series, as 2 teams from the AL West would meet in Texas, as the winner of the series would sit atop the division, as the Los Angeles Angels take on the Texas Rangers. And Game 1 would be a pitching duel, as Tyler Mahle and Yusei Kikuchi would both throw 6 innings, Yusei allowing 1 run and Mahle allowing 0. But the Rangers would score late and claim a Game 1 victory 4-0. In Game 2, Jake Berger and Corey Seager would each get 3 hits, and the Rangers would win that one 3-1. Now in Game 3, could the Angels salvage the series? The Texas Rangers say not a chance. 5-3 final in Game 3 as the Rangers sweep the in-division Angels and now sit atop that division with a 2-game lead. Good for the Rangers. I know that the Angels started off pretty hot and people are starting to sing their praises. And while I do think they're still good, they have a lot of young talent. They obviously have Mike Trout. I don't think they're quite there yet, and I think they're starting to show that a little bit. Next up, the Chicago White Sox would host Brent Rooker and the A's. But in Game 1, it would be Tyler Soderstrom that puts the A's on his back. And I know every time that name pops up, I pronounce it differently. I don't know how to say it. I'm trying my best here, people. But in Game 1, he would have 2 home runs and 6 RBIs as the A's would win 12-3. And in Game 2, there wouldn't be anything to talk about. The A's win 3-1. And on Thursday, the A's would complete the sweep of the White Sox in big fashion as Brent Rooker goes 3 for 5 with a home run. Tyler Soderstrom hits his league-leading 9th home run of the season. That boy has some power. And J.P. Sears throws 6 innings of shutout ball. 8-0 final in Game 3. Now down to the final 2 series. We have the Nationals traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. And in Game 1, Paul Skeens would be waiting. 6 innings, only allowing 1 run, but he would commit 2 errors on pickoff attempts, which is a little strange. Still, the Pirates would win it comfortably, 10-3. In Game 2, the Nationals would bounce back with 7 innings of shutout ball by Jake Irvin and win Game 2 3-0. But the final 2 games would be all Pirates, as Bailey Falter and Andrew Heaney would both throw 7 innings of shutout ball, and the Pirates would win the final 2 games 6-1 and 1-0 to take the series 3-1 against the visiting Nationals. And now we'll move on to the one that I thought was the last series to talk about, but instead it's the second to last series because, surprise, I can't count. But the 7-8 Cardinals would travel to Houston to take on the 7-8 Astros. And Sonny Gray would start the series with a 7-inning shutout to lead the Cardinals to a Game 1 victory, 8-3. In Game 2, where a decapitation would almost take place, we'll get to that later, it would be Hunter Brown who pitches beautifully as he goes 6 innings, not allowing a run, and Houston evens the series up in Game 2 with a 2-0 victory. And then Game 3, nothing exciting would happen, but the Cardinals would take the series with a 4-1 victory. Now we'll get to the actual final series to talk about, and this one is a 4-game series between 2 teams that could potentially face off in the playoffs later this season, as the red-hot Giants would travel to Philadelphia to take on the Phillies, and in Game 1, the hot would stay hot. Willie Adames and Tyler Fitzgerald finally both get their first home runs on the season, and the Giants win Game 1 easily 10-4. In Game 2, the Phillies would bounce back as Justin Verlander has been hurting a lot more than he's been helping, and the Phillies get the Game 2 win 6-4. And then on Wednesday in Game 3, Aaron Nola continues his awful start to the season as he gets his 4th loss which is tied first in Major League Baseball this season, as he would give up 6 runs in just 5 1/3 innings pitched. And the Giants would win that one 11-4. But in Game 4, the Phillies had had enough, and they decided they were going to send the Giants home with a 6-4 loss, as every game of that 4-game series went back and forth. And that does it for today's episode. I'm falling behind. I know. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. The decapitation. Duh. Come on, dude. You can't mention that and then not show it. All right. So we go to Game 2 between Houston and St. Louis, and Eric Fetty has some quick reflexes. Take a look. Yeah, guys. Dude, first off, that's probably as terrifying as it gets on a baseball field, okay? But that's one of my favorite plays ever because, I mean, that's just literally reflexes. Like, he's just terrified, he throws his glove up, and he makes the catch. We've seen it happen. It happens at least like a couple times a season, but it never gets old, dude. I mean, that is just pure fight or flight, and he just throws his glove up, and he makes a catch like that. So, yeah. Good for him, and definitely, probably, you know, out of the 3. Well, I mean, I picked it to be my favorite of the week, I guess. So yeah, it definitely, it's the best out of the 3. I love when plays like that happen. It's impressive, but it's also like, how many times can he do that again? You know what I mean? So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You know, I'm catching up here. I'm getting ready to shoot off the next 2 episodes to get us caught up, you know, to April 25th or whatever. Because I mean, guys, yeah, this is ridiculous, okay? Easter Sunday set me back. But we'll get caught up, and then you'll get the standings. You'll get the stat leaders going into May. I've got a couple other videos I told you about I want to do, including the power rankings. Definitely need to get done. You know, the prospect watch, and then the buy or sell on some of the hot and cold hitters so far this season. So just stay tuned for that. But like, comment, subscribe, share. Appreciate you guys. Love the support. Thank you.